How's it going? Ryan here. And today I'm going to review the 3 trades that I took on SPY, all of which happen to be losers. Talk about what went wrong, why I took the trades that I did, and what I can learn from it. But before we do that, we're looking at the daily time frame here on SPY. We have a few levels marked. From the bottom we have 431.2. That's the bottom of this swing here that we approached as we were coming down. We also have 434.5, which was an area of support multiple times, resistance once we broke below it, and then support again above it. And then we have the 444 level to the upside, which was resistance 5 times until we broke above it, found support at that level, broke below it again, found resistance. So those were higher time frame levels I was watching, and then within this price action in here, we have some levels that were charted off the hourly. Did not mean to do that. All right, let's see if we can try that again. All right, there we go. So from the hourly, we have 443. This was an area of support that we broke, found resistance, and then we haven't reached since breaking that. So that was an area that I was interested in seeing if we got up to that point. We have this 441, same thing, support, broke it, resistance. It also was an area that we found resistance in the pre-market today, broke above and found support, so that was relevant. We have this 439 area, once again, support once we broke it, resistance. Then we have 437, 436, and I believe 434.5 was from the daily. These red and green are the high and lows of yesterday's trading session, along with supply and demand zones. And then we have the high and the lows of the pre-market. All of that being said, let's jump into how the day played out, the trades I took and why they didn't work. So I'm actually going to back this up. I zoomed in a little too early. The very first trade I took was looking at this trend line that we had formed from yesterday's low through the pre-market to today's open. So that a little bit. All right. So the first trade I took was off the opening candle. Generally, I don't trade the first 5 minutes. I let some sort of direction play out. I want to see some price reaction. I want to see a direction. I want to see volume coming in, just to get an idea or understanding of what might happen, where we're headed in the day. So generally, I don't trade the first candle. So this was a bit of an anomaly, and it happened to be my first loss of the day. We were opening up slightly above this 441 support area that we had broken above, found support in the pre-market, as well as we had kind of this longer term trend. If I back up here from, like I said, yesterday's low of day to the pre-market to the open, and it was aligning with that 441 support. With that being said, I took a call on the open when we were testing right in this area. I got out on this subsequent candle. So once we broke below it, I cut my loss, and that was a $15 loss. Usually I shoot for like a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So my wins are usually around, between 20 and 30. My losses are between like 10 and 15. Lost $15 there. So that was my first loss. As we started selling down into this Monday's high of day and supply zone, an area that we rejected off of on Monday, we were broken above it, and I was expecting this area to offer some support. As we came down, we wicked into this area, pulled up. We had this very low volume sell candle, and then we started wicking back down into this area. I took a call near the very bottom of this zone. The reason why I did it is it was an extremely low risk. As soon as we broke below this zone, I was going to cut. That was my stop loss. And I was targeting a retest of that 441 level. So here I lost like $3. I got in near the bottom to try to minimize my risk. Once we broke below it, I cut. So that was a second loss, second trade, super low risk. That's why I took it. Probably not the greatest entry or trade to take. I guess not the best decision. Trying to time a reversal, but seeing this low volume candle, seeing this candle with the long wick and this low volume candle and another retest of the zone, I felt like taking a very low risk trade here was worth it. So that's why I entered that. And then once we had broken below this zone, we had established a clear downtrend. We had been selling off this whole morning. When we came up and retested this area, I took a put looking for continuation to 439. So I took a put on this candle here, targeting 439, stop above this zone, this 440 level. I got stopped out on this candle when we pushed up. So we came down. I was in the money a little bit. My contract was in profit, but I wanted to target these lows here. I thought that we were in a downtrend and we would target this next level. Once we pushed up above, I cut for another loss. That was $15 or so. Overall, or no, it was about, $12. Overall loss on the day was $30, so 15 off the open, 3 here and 12 here. All losses, super small. Added up, they're bigger than I would like to take in a single day. So I think some of my trade ideas were not terrible. Taking the trade off the open wasn't my best idea. So that was a clear mistake, or just a misstep, something that I normally avoid. I did it anyways today and I paid for it. So clear lesson there. The second trade, that was super low risk. I don't feel too bad about taking that. We had shown some pressure in here to push this price up. We had shown some volume dying on the sell-off. We were getting a second retest. I took it with an extremely low risk. Like I said, that was a $3 loss once we broke out of that range. So that I'm not too upset about. I think I maybe had known better than to take it, and that's why I set my risk so low. So better judgment could have been used there, but you are going to lose some regardless of the setups that you take. So that's not too big of an issue with me. This trade as well wasn't too big of an issue with me either. Looking for the reject and continuation. As you see, we pushed up a slightly higher, and then we actually got that exact move that I was looking for. We pushed up out of this range and then sold off. Sometimes that happens. You get a fake breakout and then you get the move that you were expecting. So that one got me. That hit my stop loss and then made the move without me. That would have been a nice trade. However, I was stopped out. What can I learn on that one? I think I stuck to my rules pretty well. We broke below this zone. We got a retest. I'm not too mad about that trade at all. So perhaps a better entry and understanding risk management a little bit. We only pushed 30 cents above the top of that zone. Although, this subsequent candle, if this one pushing up didn't get me out, this one probably would have, as we tried to come down, pushed up, closed above that zone. So this one probably would have got me out. But regardless, I could have had a better entry at the top of the zone, risked about the same risk to reward, and got that move. That's all 2020 hindsight. However, my levels weren't as accurate as they've been lately on today's action. We can see that once we did break below it, we came up and retested. This was perfect. Like if that happened here, that would have been really nice. retested the zone, sell back down to 439, push back up, sell down, find some support. Breakdown, we hit this pre-market low where we found a little bit of support, broke below that. That support became resistance temporarily, broke above it, kind of hovered around this 439 level, and then you can see what we did from there. So overall, red day. I tried to play calls in 2 areas. This one was too early to determine a trend. So, but here I tried to play a call on a downtrend. That could be a lesson to learn as well. Trade with the trend, as I tried to do here. I think also we just had some lower volume, kind of choppier, a little bit more unpredictable price action. And I even mentioned in the morning that with all the earnings coming out and economic news coming out later this week, that today might not be a great day to trade. So anyways, I think maybe cutting my trade down to 2 losses. I'll cut it and stop trading at that point. I took 3, my third being, second largest, and going from, sub $20 loss to having $30 loss on the day. So overall, I could manage my risk a little bit better. I could be a little bit more patient, as I wasn't not very patient on that opening trade. We were trending up. We were coming down to a level of support, testing that trend line. So I figured that, it was worth the risk. But generally my rule is to not trade that. So I broke that rule. Anyways, that's my review. Yeah, my levels weren't super accurate. I think having intraday levels would have been a bit more key today. As you can see, this low, we came back and retested that and sold off. We had kind of this area here that we found some price action moving around that area. We came and retested that rather than this zone. So intraday levels kind of played more of a part than levels that I had charted from previous days. And yeah, it's just something to learn, something to grow from. I didn't blow my account. I didn't continue to trade once I'd taken those 3 losses. I accepted it, moved on. I definitely had the emotion to want to trade more, but I ignored that. I had better judgment than to keep trading on a day where I obviously did not have an edge. With that being said, those are the trades I took, how they played out. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll give it another shot. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking by. I trade live every Monday through Friday, so stop by if you feel so inclined. Yeah, hope you have a great day. With that, I am out. Peace.